Good morning. Brother Drew, Brother Drew. How you holding up, brother? We lost a soldier to y'all. We lost a soldier. Beautiful black cat named Chaz. He had to go. He had to go to heaven. We get a drive by. Another drive by. Here we go. Get. Freaking! I hope to see you tonight on SmackDown. Definitely. And then Chris Jericho's back. I'm like, dude, really? So I'm taking this medicine now because they're force feeding me pills. Last night didn't no was like no effect, but the other few nights I just been out like a lamppost. And as soon as like the show's coming on, I'm asleep and there's Jericho out. I'm like, dang, I'm like, dude, that's so disappointing. I'm his favorite. I'm his number one fan, and that's the thanks I get. Drugs. They have treatment programs for people on drugs, but I get to see firsthand what it's like for people to go through withdrawals and not being able to do the things that they used to do. And then you hear some of the stories of the people's lives, and it's like you've really been through some effed up stuff, huh? You're sitting there looking at the person, and they tell you where they've been and what they've been through, and it's just like, what? Like, no, no way. I get, I get upset because sometimes people do things that I don't like or appreciate. They do mess with me sometimes. I think sometimes I do feel a little like juvenile. They make me feel a little juvenile in there. But the best remedy is forgiveness. That first video I made when I was talking about y'all, I was very angry. I was very upset. But now, I've gotten to get to know y'all a little better. You know what I'm saying? I know we only know each other from that building, but I guess like you just got to take what you can get. But that's not true because this Wednesday we're supposed to be going to the Air and Space Museum, which is in Washington D.C. So I used to go there when I was a kid. It was fun. It was fun. So the irony of the situation is that I don't want to go anywhere or do anything, y'all. I don't want to go anywhere, and I don't want to do anything. That's just the truth. I don't want to do jack. I'm so content with sitting in my room chilling. I'm so content with you know and then going to the store has gotten better. All those reports I think are starting to take effect. And if I continually, receive these bad things, I'm going to continue to report. Not a problem. Absolutely no. I have absolutely no problem doing that. If it means I can shop in peace, I'm all for it. They say snitches get stitches. Well, let me ask you a question that I've never heard anyone ask. What about non-snitches? What do they get? They get rewarded? Do they get sit in places of honor? You hate snitches and rats. You're a rat. Snitch. Like, okay. You get stitched and laid in a ditch. I got that. What about non-snitches? What about people who don't snitch? What honor do you receive for not snitching? I'm like, you can call me, you can call me opposite man, because sometimes, or most of the times, a lot of times, when I hear something and I know it ain't right, I will purposefully go and do the opposite. I remember in kindergarten, the kids were all saying the same thing, and I thought to myself one day, I'm telling you, I'm like 5, 6 years old doing this. I'm thinking, kids think, yes, I'm thinking. I'm like, how is it that red is the first color and blue is the second? You guys always say that, but I'm thinking to myself, is that actually true? I knew it wasn't true, but I also did that. I was 6 years old. I didn't know the right answer either, so I was just playing, and I had my. I mean, I guess this is like the foundation of Kalari Purdue, because I've been doing this my whole life, huh? I was sitting there ready to go, knowing what y'all were going to do before you did it. So I already had my answer ready. So when the teacher asked, "What's the first color in alphabetical order?" They said red. I said blue, blue. I was just playing. And then she said, "What's the next one?" They all said blue. I said green, green. The teacher stopped. I can't remember. This was like, okay, that was 33 years ago. This is a 33-year-old story. She was like, "Okay, y'all, Kalari is the only one answering the right question." I said, "See, I knew it. I knew something was funny." Fast forward 33 years later, I'm in another class. "How you doing today?" "I'm fine." "How you doing today?" "I'm good." And then people are condemning me for saying that I'm good and I'm fine. I'm getting condemned. What was it? Wednesday, I went to see my probation officer. Everything went very well because God has given me the ability to fulfill all requirements. He's taken care of everything. God is good. I came into I've been dealing with this stuff for a long time, and I have not gotten an answer to the questions that I keep thinking that gotten an answer. I've reached the point of where we can just move on. Everything's peachy, but they keep making me do the same thing over and over again, and they keep trying to make me do stuff that I don't want to do. But the point is that I really couldn't do it. The stipulations set before me that I couldn't do. So I got the phone number, got the grassroots. We went to the meeting, and they pretty much set everything up. You know what I mean? So everything is like got to pay a little bit, but I mean when I say a little bit, I mean like five. So far, I've only spent like $5. I'm like, dude, I can afford that. Spent $5 in every requirement, and I'm here, and they try to, and they throw things in there because this is like more of the Bible, because you can't follow the whole law completely. Anyone who wants to boast about their ability to keep the rules and all that, and rules this and rules that, they're the first ones to break it. You're the first ones to break the rule, and especially if you step up to them and tell them that they broke it, yeah, they'll lose their mind. Like, "No, I'm perfect, not me." Yes, you. the one who's so hell bent. You know what I mean? So, let me go ahead and get me something to drink. You know, it's like when I was in college, the teacher wanted us to when she gave us when she wanted us to give her an answer, she wanted us to give it directly from the book, word for word. I didn't understand why until we got to the tests. When I passed with flying colors, we got to the test, and I ended up regurgitating everything that I was was supposed to memorize from from what she told me. Now, somebody in those classes, maybe more than one person, they say we want your own answer. The point I'm making is there are some people out there who do want the book answer because that's what's going to help you retain. If you get your own answer, it's not like the answer. It's just that's your answer. Yes, it's good to interpret it in a way you can understand. Yes, but not everyone's going to ask, for your own answer. Some people are going to want the book, or are going to want what the book says. One person got mad about the book. I'm like, dude, get mad if it's wrong, but don't get mad at the book. The book is wrong, fine, but if it's, I'll be back. But this is like, how can I say this? Um, I think sometimes some of the things that we talk about, I think you're just going too far. I think you're just going too far. I'm talking about food. You eating. I understand. I guess it's just a matter of like being overweight. I can understand. I guess that's the case. That's why they talk about food, like cookies and cakes and pies and stuff like that. And yeah, they'll blow you up. It's true. It's not. They're not good for you. I guess what I'm on is it doesn't matter whether you're fat or not. How's your attitude? I've known fat people with good attitudes, and I've known fat people with bad attitudes. Actually, moreover, do you have the Holy Ghost? If you're fat with the Holy Ghost, I just say stay fat. You know what I mean? If you're a nice person and you're fat, I could care less about your weight. And I feel you. I honestly feel you should feel the same way, because you should be happy, with yourself. You should be happy in your own body. You should be happy in your own mind. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. You know, that's your body. That's your body. You know what I'm saying? You should be happy with your stuff. I remember I was sitting on the bed because I used to be like thin as a pole. Speaking of thin as a pole, I just watched Greased Lightning, but we'll talk about that. Greased Lightning. We'll talk about that in a second. And I used to be thin as a pole. Skinny. People are like, you don't eat. You need to eat. So I eat. Now it's like, Clark, you're fat. You need to get skinny. It's like, shut up. Damn, shut up. So, but I'm sitting on the bed. I look at my body. I mean, it doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? It is big. It is wide. It is round. But one day I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? I don't care what I look like. It didn't bother me anymore. I chose, and I'm just saying, I'm gonna say it with boldness. I chose not to give an F. The more the days go by, I'm just like, man, as long as I'm enjoying what I'm eating, enjoying my life, and spending the money I want to spend, and saving the money I want to save, and reading the Bible how I want to read the Bible, I'm good. What am I worried? I'm like, and I'm not gonna live forever. People, the way people talk, the way people act, it makes me think to myself, how long do you think I'm gonna be here? And then I have another question to pose to you, because everybody always wants to talk about what's going to happen after my parents die. Well, first of all, they're not dead yet, and neither am I. So I don't know how y'all get to something that we have that hasn't even happened yet. Do you know the future? My question to you is, what would you do right now and in the future if I were dead today? It's about, what am I going to do after they die? No, what are you going to do after I die? What are you going to do after Kalari goes to heaven? That's the question I pose to you. What are you going to do without me? I got future plans because I'm thinking to myself, I'm not waiting for you all that time. Screw you. I got people that I need. I got other people that I need to bless and send to heaven. I ain't got time to keep playing with you. You want to do what you do? Fine. I give up on you. Forget you. Shoot. When I was in jail, did the kids come and see me? No. Did I have that? Did I have my cat? No. Did I have my mom and dad? No. You know what I had? I had my accomplishments. I had my 9-time Bible reading champion. I said, yeah, that's me. I could take that with me. I could take my 116 NASCAR championships and my 76 Formula One championships. I could take that with me. Boxing champion, WWE champion, NBA champion, Gran Turismo champion. I don't even want to hang out with the kids anymore until you go, back to what I used to like about you. That's what I like about you. So I'm giving up. And so that should give you a hint of what's coming in the future. What I'm about to do. Because I realized this could take 30 years. And I'm like, nah. 5 years later, My mom is dead. My dad is dead. You know, I'm dead. No. It's the truth, isn't it? Well, God, people, how long are they going to be here? This April keeps asking me, do I have another run? I never had a run. Yeah, I stole money to get my NyQuil. Yeah, but let's remember who stole from who first. There's things to consider. If I had money, would I have done that? No, I wouldn't. Look, set up the scenario. You took everything from me, and then you get mad that I steal. You want to know the truth? You're stealing too. So, when I went to Walmart and I got banned for nothing, that's stealing. Okay. So what am I saying? Did I really steal anything? No. No. I had no money. And nobody would give me anything. So what the heck am I supposed to do? Have you ever been poor? If you have, you know what? You can understand where I'm coming from. I'm talking about somebody who, if they had the means, they would do the right thing. But can you judge a person? Listen, this is a good question. Can you judge a person for wrong after you've taken everything that they need to get what they need? You took it, right? But what am I supposed to do? A real case of stealing is I bought NASCAR Heat 2. They send me the they send me the box, and then you open the box and there's the NASCAR Heat 2 box, but then you open up the NASCAR Heat 2 box, there's no disc inside. So I call them back. Hey, what's up? You didn't send me my game. So I took care of the business I needed to take care of. They finally sent the game. But my dad comes to me with a second issue, and he's like, Kalari, they took a second amount of money from my account. Get it back. It's kind of funny. When I asked for my money, my mom asked me why, but my dad asked for money. He's like, you better give me my money back. I said, uh, that's funny. I'm the only person who doesn't need to get paid, right? Okay. Okay. Got you. But I know one thing. In this life, there's right and there's wrong. So I called them up and I'm like, hey, y'all messed up. Give the man his money back. They stole more. That's stealing. That's stealing. These people are rich. And 2 times they sent me stuff. First time they sent me the box with no game in it. And then they sent me the game and made us pay again for their mistake. That's stealing. Not when a person is poor and no one will give them, and their jobs have been taken, and the allowance that they've gotten has been taken. I remember one time I went like months without like getting money, and when I did finally get a piece of paper in my hand, it was only $20. Okay, can you live? Now let me ask you a question. Since you're so righteous and since you're so true, could you live that long without stealing a thing? Without taking something? I mean, forget the word stealing. Taking. Would you just take it? Or could you just live without money? I'm not talking about you're in jail. You're free. You're outside. You got a car. You're running around the streets. Broke. You telling me you're not gonna steal anything. You're so strong that you're not gonna steal something. You know what I know what everyone does? They speed. There's not a soul on the planet who does not speed. Now, what makes you more righteous than a person who's stealing than a person who's speeding? No, none. You're not more righteous. You're not even close. You're not even close. There it is. That's a joke. You take everything from me, and I'm supposed to just be Mr. Perfect? That's not even real. The Bible says that the Lord is going to the whoremonger, the prostitute, and the whoremonger is going to make it to heaven before you. I remember having to walk to the store, and I mean, it was like an hour, 2 hours to get there. Then I had to walk back. As I'm walking, because of hardships, I remember people would lock their doors in my face. They being mean. I'm walking, and I'm like, man, when somebody just pull over and catch me, then my brother drives by. He's driving, and he just drives right past me. He doesn't pull over and check on me. He just kept driving. Thanks, Shima. Middle finger to you. I remember being arrested in Anne Arundel County. I live in Howard County, and then I had to go like 30 something miles from my house in jail. And I remember I was so embarrassed to call. I just started walking home, and it was like this big, long black highway. What did I get arrested for? Well, absolutely nothing. I got, okay, I'm stealing, right? I got arrested for trespassing, and the mall was open. How does that work out, y'all? All right, exactly. It doesn't work at all. It's bullcrap. I didn't commit a crime to get that trespassing. I did nothing. They just lied because they couldn't get anything real. Turn the light on. It's terrible. It's terrible what I got to deal with. You know, nobody's innocent. Everybody's guilty. Everybody's done something. And if nobody's done, that person's innocent. They'll try to make something up. No, you did something. You had done something. You know, weed's got fentanyl in it. It's like, dude, I don't buy. I'm not a street rat. Okay, I'm lofty. But yeah, these people are, they're in pain. So I can respect that part. I gotta forgive, gotta respect, gotta do all that stuff. And I watched Greased Lightning, which is about Wendell Scott, the African American NASCAR driver and racer, and he won a lot more than this one NASCAR race. I said, what? Apparently, he's the first black racer to win anything. Automobile racer to win anything. I said, really? Father Wendell. Then they showed the bootlegging and all, and then they showed him like dirt racing. They showed him real, racing on paved roads. And I just started crying. I just bawling. I was bawling because it was definitely a quick trip back, a quick trip back to what I went through. We went through the exact same thing. It's like nigger, nigger. It's like those are those hard beginnings. And then you're very, very successful. You're amongst your peers. And he was in NASCAR for like 12 years. I said, what? Dude, he was chilling. I'm like, dude, he was not just there. He was in. Dude, that made it got so emotional. I just couldn't contain myself. I know exactly, it was just like, man, it's like I'm racing with real people, and you know, you know, yeah, dude, it was bad. I remember Daniel Phineas. Gavin says it's finesse. Okay, Daniel Finesse. He freaking called me the N word. He called me a nigger 100 times. And it got to the point one day I was like, bro, I wasn't. He would leave me messages, but I didn't read them. But one day I actually read them, and I saw the hatred and the anger in him, and it was nigger this and nigger that. I said, dude, I'm reporting you. I reported him 15 times. Well, yeah, he changed. By the end of it, there was respect. It wasn't, you know what I mean? That's why I started crying. Freaking Wendell's come back after an injury, and he's amongst his peers, and nobody's messing with him. It's like, yeah, they were happy, and then he won the race. I don't know if this was a movie. It was just a movie or not. But in the movie, they cheered. So I guess they would. He's been there for 12 years. He's not like it's not just some random black guy like that. Yeah, this is Wendell. Like don't it's almost an apology. Like yeah, we're sorry. I remember the day. I don't. I remember the day I got tired of the N word. I just got tired of it. I'm like, look, this is getting old. I'm tired of you calling me a nigger. I'm sick of it. So I like intelligently responded to it. You know what I mean? I just I would just say something like, dude, I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I did, but I know I worked it out. I was like, look, I don't like, you're a name caller. It's just name calling. Matter of fact, it's again, that's what happened. It was like, I knew that you were going to say that. So I was already ready for it. I was like, yeah, I know. I knew you were going to say that. You're like racist. No, not racist. Just you're just a nigger. I'm like, no. Yeah. And then another person, you're a name caller. I'll just hit it with gentleness and love. By the time it was done, you felt really bad about what you did. It's just, and it hasn't happened. It's stopped, and I'm glad. And thank you for stopping it, or I'll report your ass again. But yeah. I looked at the dates, how long ago it was, dude. It was like 70 years ago. I was like, oh my god. Look at the guy's hat, it says NASCAR on it. It's like, that's my sport, man. I'm really fond of the sport. I really enjoy it. I love it. It's my shiznit. I really do. Excuse me. That's why it hurts to break up with something that you love. When NASCAR was going through its period of Psychoville, I completely fell out of love with it, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm out of here, and I left. I ain't gonna tattle on you, Ty. You know, and I left, and you like that horsepower, don't you, Ty? Oh yeah, Ty likey. Freaking, you know, time passes. I miss it. I said, I know this NASCAR's stupid, but I miss it. So I made a decision to return, and we have 750 horsepower in some of these tracks now, and I've heard not one person complain. Thank God. And what did I say in the past? When, of course, no one would listen to me. I said, um, remember when we had all that power and we were racing at these tracks and no one complained? Well, it looks like Larry was right, as usual. So just like the cat the bag lord. Yeah, yeah. So what I'm saying is I am canceling this no streaming thing. Yeah, I'm not even gonna keep it a secret anymore. No more secrets. And I'm gonna return when I'm finished with Lost Judgment. I will find a new game to play. I already have the game planned out, so that I will keep a secret, so you won't know what I'm doing about to do. But I'm coming back because I don't want 30 years to go by. That's why. I don't want 5 years to go by. I'm gonna get what I want anyway, but and then dreams. You know what I'm really tired about hearing come out your mouth. Dreams. I'm really tired of it. And I want to say F my dreams. Okay? Tell it. Just really tired of dreams, dreams, dreams. Dream, dream, dream. I'm so tired of hearing about dreams. I love to dream, I love it. I'm sleeping and it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes it gets pretty scary up there. I ain't gonna lie. I don't use that word very often, but it gets crazy. I guess that's a more appropriate word for me. It gets wild up there. I'm like, yo, we need to wake up. This is not fun. And just be tripping sometimes, don't they? More power. It's just like, so I don't know. Don't ninjas be tripping? Don't ninjas be tripping sometimes though? Oh, you need to. It's like you something wrong with you. You are tripping. See how far I've come. All right. So I guess I'm gonna go on the internet because you just can't burn fuel in time trial, nor can you do tire wear. So excuse me. I mean, I'm practicing for what? I mean, I guess nothing really, in essence, because who am I gonna really? Who really? Who? Let me think. The track limits in this game don't exist. You guys take turns and you cut the track completely, and there's no penalty. And then you run the car off track a little bit off to the right or left, and you get a penalty. What kind of like what? I mean, it's you completely like would take a chunk of the turn that I wouldn't take because that's completely cutting the track, but it's not illegal either. It's like, um, I'm speechless. You know what? Hold on. I don't want to. No challenge. See, I'm just learning new. That's pretty. That's true. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning new tracks. Uh, it's every. It's what is. What do you guys always put out your stupid mouth? It's not. Uh, it's about strategy too. It's not just about running around the track. It's like shut up. God. Oh Jesus Christ. This world would be a better place if some people just talk less. That's what we should do in those classes, man. Just watch like just every once in a while, watch like a funny movie or something instead of just talking about nothing. They were talking yesterday about how busy they are. Well, they keep you that busy so you won't have any time to use or whatever you want to do. It keeps you so busy that you're not gonna you have no time to use drugs or anything like that or eat something eat the wrong food or whatever. I was wondering why it's so quiet. Car setting. Everything's fine. Now I just gotta exercise. You know, I mean, they're straight. I just, you know, I just get angry sometimes at some of the things that people do to me. That's all. I'm like, dang. Let's see what I've learned from yesterday. So I'll go in and change the tires just to shut you up. That's why you got sprint races in F1. So, thanks to yours truly. You're welcome. See, I can go faster, but I'm just being cautious because I don't want to hit the wall. See that? That's all I do is hit the stinking wall here. Makes me so mad. Alright, so what I'm gonna try to do is just not hit the wall. Grizzled the veteran. Yeah, strategy, right? Well, this is strategy to shut you up. I just don't want to hit the wall. No wall, no wall. I don't care about speed. I just don't want to hit the wall. Yeah, just be careful, boy. Be careful. You gotta, okay, I got it. Slow and steady. Slow and steady, slow and steady. That's what wins the race. Excuse me. Whoa, excuse me. Sweet Jesus. Whoa, slow down, slow down, slow down. No. Don't hit no wall, no wall. Kyle Busch, what happened to you, dog? Used to be ruthless and toothless, dog. Whatever. Yeah, this room is for Chaz, our fallen soldier. Beautiful black cat going home to be with Jesus. This one's for you. From your number one fan, Drew McIntyre. From your number one fan. And Chris, I'm gonna work my tail off to be in AEW next week. Especially if my man is, if Chris Jericho is back. And you just keep rubbing it in. I'm like, yeah, I know. Checked on it. Dude, I was so upset. So far, so good. Not having hit the wall. Sometimes it's gotta lift. Sometimes it's gotta go really, really slow. I ain't trying to keep up with you. I'll run my own race. You know how there's an old saying. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes it's true. Let's get some tires. Let's get a full tank of gas. Yep, in an F1 car. Told you, Mr. Opposite. That's what I'm saying, dude. Who you gonna mess with after I'm gone? Uh-oh. I'm running out of time. guess I got to go then. See you later. Woo! Slow and steady, slow and steady. And it like must really suck that like have to live with a bunch like this to be around the same people all the time. It's like, dang. That must be terrible. Getting mad at me because I got it good. Yeah, well, stay mad. That's how I know it's working. It's like, no, don't stay mad. I'm kidding. Come on. Whoa! Okay, I guess I'm going in the pit. Car just snapped on me. Whatever, I'll just restart. 1 second.